All right, guys, welcome back to the first episode of Decoding Athlete in America. I'm so glad to be with a legend today. He's a fencing world champion, model, all around like character. Make some noise for Miles Chamley-Watson, and the room goes wild. What's up, Miles?
Thank you, my man. Pleasure to be here. So glad that, to be on here and to see you, man. It's been a long time, so thank you for having me.
Dude, we literally haven't seen each other for like 5 months.
5 months. And the last time we were in Paris together.
Exactly for that Paris Saint-Germain game.
Yeah, man.
We got to meet Neymar. It was pretty sick.
That was fun. that was a sick game, too.
It was the craziest game of the season.
Crazy game. Oh, man.
How much goal did they score? It was crazy.
Sick. No, they both scored. It was like they both scored like 4. It was like 4-3 or 5, something crazy.
It was insane.
Man, I wish we could be there right now, but
I know. So, dude, we just got hit hard by the COVID-19 situation, and the world pretty much came to a pause. Yeah. What have you been up to? How have you been dealing with that?
So, since COVID-19, it's obviously a tough thing to even comprehend, right? Because I've never experienced anything like that before. So in the beginning, it was a little bit tough for me since I was 12 years old. I've had a schedule my whole life, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, nope, you can't go to the gym, can't go outside, can't fence, can't see anybody. So I was like, okay, let's sit down, recharge. And I started, picking up writing, painting, throwing knives, bow and arrow. And I started writing a children's book while, obviously working out in the gym. But just trying to, free my mind and find new things and work on content and work on my business ideas. So it's been a weird kind of blessing, a hard blessing or hard lesson. But I'm happy that I'll be able to find, a positive out of this situation.
That's awesome, because you and me travel so much throughout the year for like either competitions or incentives for sponsors or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it was definitely a blessing that to kind of recharge for 5 months, not to be on a different time zone every day. Where have you been spending the most time?
So I was in California for like probably 3 months. So I was out there shooting, and then my agent was like, you should probably stay there because this is a real thing. I was like, okay. And then obviously I didn't expect it to be 3 months. So I was literally in LA for 3 months, which I've never been anywhere for more than 4 days, right? Because, we compete, we leave, we go back to different hotels. So that was weird. That I was literally in one place for 3 months. That was hard. And I'm now back in New York for the first time, which is beautiful to be back. But I was in California. That's it. That was it really for me.
So you kind of like found yourself to be in California when it happened. You never really came back home because you are based in New York City.
Yes.
And then so you went to shoot something in California, right? Yeah. For one of your sponsors?
Yes.
And when it happened, you were just like, well, I'm just going to stay there. So how did that happen? You just found a place to stay, or like you just...
Yeah, so funny story, actually. So we were competing in Italy in March, and we get off the plane, and they're taking our temperatures. And we're like, what's going on? This is weird. This is like right when they got hit hard. Came back, shooting in LA, and I was like, in a hotel, and then boom. So I was like, hotels are closing. I was like, oh my God. So luckily my boy, Paul, and his wife, Ashley, were there. Like, hey, come stay with us. I was thinking max a month, or not even, right? A couple of weeks. 3 months later, I was the third wheel. They're a married couple. And it was the most incredible experience. It was literally us three, and we bonded. And I think, during this time, when you're with your loved one, it's intense. It's like a lot of, because you can't do anything. You literally can't really leave, so you're on top of each other. So I think us all three together was a great energy. And I was like their honorary partner. I was like, but yeah, I was with them for 3 months.
That house looked sick too.
Yeah, I got very lucky with the house because there was a backyard, and luckily Rebel gave me all the equipment. So I went to the gym, I got all the stuff I needed. So I had a full gym outside, and there's a pool. I literally couldn't complain. I wake up and it'd be sunny. I was like, what can I really complain about? So I was really blessed about that. That was awesome.
You did very well by keeping your social media active during that time. I've seen you've been doing a lot of training in the Santa Monica facilities, and also like some Zoom training with your friends. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was training in Santa Monica at Rebel in the beginning, and then obviously they closed everything down. So Tyler, the trainer, was like, "Hey, we're gonna do Zoom training." I was like, "First of all, what's Zoom?"
Dude, we did not know about Zoom like 3 months ago. Now it's like the thing that everybody.
He was like, "We're doing Zoom." I was like, "What is Zoom?" I was like, "What about Skype?" Right? And he's Zoom. I was like, "Okay." And we just started doing these Zoom workouts with me and a couple other athletes, and it was like good workouts, but it was just great to see everybody's face, and like that kind of reminded us that like, okay, at least we have this together. And we were just doing these workouts every day from like 8 to 9:30, and it was like Zoom workouts. So we'd get like bands. He'd tell us, you need bands, you need a Bosu ball, or you need TRX, and this is all we're gonna do today. And so we started just doing Zoom workouts, man, and it was like 2 months of that, and that kind of kept me sane. But who would have thought I'd be working out through a computer screen?
It's crazy. I think that's the world we're gonna live in now. It's just like everybody is doing conference call on Zoom and workout on Zoom, and like I have a friend who starts a business of like gym on Zoom like right now. It's crazy. Yeah, dude, it's like the new world we live in. But you look in shape like
Thanks,
even before like better than before COVID. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was like a little bit heavier, and I wanted to like lean out and get strong.
You got lean, dude.
Yeah. So
crazy.
like I went vegan for a little bit, for like a month and a half in LA. Really focused on my body and nutrition, and now I'm in like one of the best shapes ever. I'm like ripped. I'm strong, more energy, and I came out of this kind of better than I went in. Same to you, man. You're looking like.
I mean, it's crazy. Most people got fat, but we just got more lean.
Yeah, you're looking good
that's
too.
Amazing.
I think as athletes, like we always know that like our bodies is our foundation, right? So now more than ever, I'm like, okay, I need to know what's going in my body. I need to really pay attention to my diet for the first time in my life. So, but it was cool to go vegan and learn about that.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I think it's super interesting. You just said that it was the first time in your life that you were kind of aware of what you were putting in your mouth.
Yeah.
And tell us about that, like the diet.
I was eating when I got to California. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna eat whatever. I was eating burgers and this and that. And I was like feeling like kind of sluggish and just because I wasn't working out as much. It's okay. So now since I'm not working out as much, I have to. The diet is now so important. So I work with my nutritionist, Kristen Bell, who's amazing. And she's like, okay, I was like, what's your goal? What do you want? And then, let's work on from there. So then I was like, okay, I want to be lean, strong. She's like, well, maybe you should cut out meat for a while. So that's when I started to just do vegan. And I felt great, actually. And then now I'm back on pescatarian. But for me, I don't really want meat anymore. But I feel stronger and I look better. And my skin's been better. Just kind of eating more fish and more vegetables. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I have the exact same diet as you right now. It's just like, just plant-based and sometimes chicken, eggs, and, some fish. And I've never felt better than that. And I think like, so this podcast is about, finding what does it take to be the best athlete. Yeah. And I think vegetarian, mostly plant-based diet is the key to that.
I think it really is. And I think people need to understand what's really going on in their body because, like, you can eat a burger, but wait, what did the cow eat? So like now, vegan is I know what I'm putting into my body. I think now our bodies are so important, and I think now more than ever you need to really focus on what you want to eat. And I see you cooking and making some good meals as well. I love cooking as well, so it's a lovely new escape. I'm like, okay, let's learn how to cook now. So.
Dude, exactly, because we had so much time in your hand in the end, so we just found new hobbies. What was your favorite hobby that you found during the COVID?
Mine probably was maybe bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow? Robin Hood shit.
Yeah, I ordered a bow and arrow, and my boy had knives, so I started throwing knives, bow and arrow. I was like a full-on ready for Game of Thrones. I was like, if this is the end of the world and I enter Hunger Games, I'm protecting everybody. That was really fun, but that was really fun for me. It was learning throwing knives and bow and arrow and cooking, and then just enjoying the moments you can control.
How did you deal with not fencing? Because you need two people to fence. So first of all, just to for the people who don't know what fencing is, it's pretty much like a sword fight between two people. But we're gonna come back to that later. But during confinement, you obviously didn't have a training partner to fence with. And how did you manage to still train fencing during the confinement?
So that's the hard part was like, how do you still train, but without a partner, basically? So I ordered a target and I had my fencing foil and I would just like imagine, and I have my coach and he'd be on the target and I'd just be hitting him, and it was weird. It was like a fencing a robot almost.
Oh my
But
God.
you have to, try and brush up on my reflexes and my hand-eye coordination skills. So I kind of learned that I was just doing target practice really all day just to make sure I'm sharp. But it was weird because I haven't seen another fencer or even fenced with anybody since March.
So you haven't fenced in nearly 5 months? Wow.
Which is crazy to me. I've never had that my whole life.
Do you miss it?
Like crazy, yeah. In the beginning, it was nice. I was like, okay, I have a month off. But then I was like, okay, what's next? So I do miss it now a lot.
Exactly. And what's next? Did the federation said anything? So obviously, Olympic postponed to next year, and it's one of your goal to compete in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So what's the next move from the federation perspective? Did they say anything?
The thing is that nobody really knows because fencing is so international in every country. Like, for instance, France is in a different spot than America. So is Italy. So is Asia and Korea. So everything's obviously canceled until end of July. But the IOC doesn't really know, and I don't think we're going to have anything this year.
So it's a write-off?
I think so.
What about like the Olympic qualifications? Because you have a bunch of tournaments. So how does it work? You win points every tournament? And
so America, it's a point system. So it's to be top 4 in the country to qualify for the Olympics. And then there's about 12 competitions, and they take the best 8. So if you win a World Cup, you get 3,000 points.
Okay.
If you get top 32, you get 800 points. So it's a huge gap. But if you do really well in the first 4, you can kind of sit back and relax. But it's so hard to be consistent in our sport. No one's won more than one tournament this year. So it's very people win 2. Because our sport is so many people that are strong. And you can lose to anybody. Like one can lose to 64 easily.
Really?
Yeah.
So like the margin of error is like really thin.
Really thin. But like so many people are so good. There's very few who are really elite, but you can kind of lose to anybody if you're not on your game. I know like your sport is more individual, right? Kind of?
Well, it's such like an opposition, like the direct opposition, like kind of like tennis. So it's like us, it's more a fight with yourself than a fight with someone else. So
you have to fight with like the referee. which I shouldn't do that, but I do.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Why do you have to fight with your referees?
Because if they make a bad call, I get so angry. Well, I'm good now, but I'm just like, come on, you messed up. And obviously at the Olympics, the judging is so crucial. Where like, some things can be very close, but the judge can say, I felt like it was this way, and then what are you gonna do? You can ask for a video replay, but it's a kind of a.
You can?
Yeah, you can ask for 2. Jesus, I just forgot. You get 2. You get 2. But they can just say no. It's what I called, or someone will be like, okay, I'll change. So you have that opponent, you have the referee, and you have the opponent, and it's like.
You think it's crooked sometimes?
I'm not gonna say no, but I think a lot of sports are like that, right? I think you have certain referees who might like a certain style or might like a certain country, or so it's very hard to know. But I think there's some referees who favor certain people. I think that's that's sports, right? But I definitely feel like it's one sport which a lot of actions can be 50-50, which is crazy. Like. At the Olympics, imagine 14-14, it's 2 lights, and the referee goes to look at the thing, and you have no idea what he's going to say when he comes back. Imagine that. Yeah.
Sweating.
Sweating, and you're just trying to scream or yell and get the referee's attention, but he's like... So that's the craziest thing is you never really know. That's kind of the problem, is there's no real cut and dry point system.
Oh, I know, dude, in my sport,
and yours is like
crazy.
A judge, right?
It's like, so before we had now it's getting really better the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Because we have UCI judge that have like a formation and everything.
Okay.
But before that, it was freestyle, dude. So basically, if you were in Spain, the Spain guy was gonna win the contest. If you went, not really,
but he has a good. He's got an extra.
He had a better
push.
chance, yeah, because it's something. It's not really objective. My sport is really subjective, you know.
Very.
So I mean, if the guy wants to give the other guy a little boost, well, they can kind of.
Because your sport is also insane.
Well,
and it's like, how can they judge that?
And it could be frustrating to say the least.
Same.
And I've watched some of your videos, and you've been definitely frustrated sometimes with the referees. To put it back in perspective for people who have no idea what fencing is, I'm sure a lot of people know. But so basically, you have two opponents.
Yes.
With a suit that's connected to like an electronic system.
Yes.
And so for foil, there is 3 disciplines. So foil, épée, and saber.
Yes, must be cool.
And for foil, what are the targets that you have to touch?
So for foil, it's the torso. So it's from the neck down to the pelvis and the back. That's it. And you have to connect 500 milligrams of pressure in order for it to go off.
Okay, 500 milligrams of pressure. It's kind of it's a lot, or it's not.
Yeah, it's like say this is like 300, has to be more like, so it's pretty. You have to hit pretty hard. Yeah, if it's too light, it won't go off. And it's at 15 points, and there's no win by 2. So it's 3 2-minute periods with a minute break in between. So some matches could be. Like me, my match is like 3 minutes. Some people could be 20 minutes if you're very passive and patient. So that's the thing about the sport too, is that some people are very aggressive, some people are very defensive. So it's like chess and boxing. So you have to be like, okay, what's he gonna do? So that's kind of cool thing about the sport too, is there's no height requirement, there's no body type, there's no age. You can be a guy that was second in the Olympics was 42.
Wow.
And the kid he lost to was 19. No, he was 20.
Wow, that's insane.
So the sport,
15 points and only 1 round?
Only, yeah.
So like the first who's at 15 points wins.
Yeah.
And every time you put that 500 milligrams of pressure, the light goes, so it's a green light or a red light?
Yeah, so someone's red, somebody's green. So say you're green, I'm red.
You were not ready.
Yeah, no, I was tired. And then it's like, okay, so then you figure that out and you're like, okay, now how do I try and get just one light on? Because the key is to get just your light on. But obviously, you have to hit the person and not get hit. So if you get always one light actions, it's amazing. But a lot of times it's a lot of 2 lights together, which is hard for people to understand. Like fans that watch it, like, it's 2 lights, I don't understand. So then it's like the right of way, and then so my goal is to help the scoring system and make it easier for the public. So
to make it more attractive for the public, because when there is 2 lights going off, then that's the judge's responsibility to say whoever wins. And that's so, dude, I've watched some of that videos. It's so fast. It's like, whoa.
And like at the Olympics when we were fencing against Russia, we should have won. But it's so many lights. But like I was like, okay, you know what? You have to make it 1 light. Like you have to somehow make it 1 light, so there's no question. And my coach would be like, Miles, make it a 1 light. And I'm like, if I could every time, I would, but that's the tough part about it. But it's also the beautiful thing about it too. But we're subjective as well, but not as much as you.
Dude, it's crazy. So when I used to win every contest when I was 20, and like I won so much contest that the judges just wanted to see me fall, And so in order to win a contest, I had to just like crucify the guys, not like win by a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like
so obvious.
And it's the same thing as the one-touch thing. You have to make it so obvious that they're gonna give you the point. That's bullshit. Yeah, it's like it's crazy.
It is.
How can you make that system improve?
Somehow figure out a circuit breaker where it'll shut off when it's hard, because you need it, like there's blade actions and stuff. So somehow you got to work with a tech guy to just like make the circuit breaker so short, so it's only 1 light all the time. It's so expensive, but I think it's possible. But
is that something Red Bull could work on, for example? You think?
I think so. I mean, I'd love to create my own competition with Red Bull. which is something that I think we've been talking about as well. That'd be super cool.
That would be dope. Like they do the next gen with tennis,
Yeah,
could
like something crazy, like that'd be sick. So I was definitely working with them on something like that. That's a project that I get to work on now, since I can write up stuff and treatment, and you know how it goes, where you create content, and a lot of it comes from planning stuff.
And that's the thing about you. It's you have the power to make fencing even bigger than it is. You are one of these athletes that is kind of bigger than its own sport. You can kind of bring it to like further.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a responsibility?
Yeah, I think I have a huge responsibility, because little kids look at me and they're like, "Oh, like Miles is this, and we see him in that." It's like, okay, now how do I help the younger kids come up and be like, "I want to be like Miles," and just also bring a new audience in. It's a lot of pressure, because I think you understand too, when you might be bigger than the sport, but the sport made you. So I think when you think of fencing, most people say Miles, and it's like, okay, how do I now really take the sport from being a niche to mainstream? Because there might not be another Miles in the sport, but there might be one coming up. There might not be another Matthias, but maybe it's some young kids like, oh, he's sick. I want to be like him. So that's what I'm kind of trying to figure out now.
Because I feel like fencing is one of these sports that mainstream only watch once every 4 years at the Olympic.
Exactly.
And they're like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But in between those 4 years, it's kind of hard to make a living. And I've read a bunch of things where like a lot of professional fencers have 2 jobs. Like
most in America, I would say 90% of them. It's crazy. Because like in France and Russia and Italy, they're all government sports, or they're like the federation will pay them very well, or it's usually get more sponsors or whatever. But so I'm very blessed to not have that problem.
What's in your eye when, for the kids that are listening, if they do a sport that's not necessarily mainstream, but they are really passionate about it, how can you make a living from a niche sport? And you are a great example. What's your like best
Number
advice?
One is self-belief. That's a tattoo here, where I think like, even your parents would be like, okay, yeah, Miles is gonna be, but as long as you know in your mind, it's so powerful. I told my parents, I was like, I'm gonna be the first fencer to make $1 million, and they were like, I'm like 17, right? But like I had this vision where like, not about the money, just in my mind, I was like, I want to do this, and then blessed where I got offered a sponsorship by Nike, for sponsors they signed, and then I signed a Red Bull, which is I've been drinking at competitions, before, and I was like, wow, I have 2 of the biggest sponsors in the world. I can do anything, and that to me was like, and I was just being myself, I didn't change. I got tattoos. I don't want to be just like a normal average person, and I think any kid growing up, whether you're in a small sport or whatever, just believe in yourself and set goals and work harder than anybody else.
And I feel like you've been also thinking outside the box a little more than other fencers.
Yeah.
Because you have been to other areas of life, like modeling, and then, just hanging at the Met Gala with celebrities. And do you think that helps your career?
For sure. I think it goes hand in hand, because when we do the modeling stuff, which you do as well, you're not just a model. You're a BMX guy that can model. You're a fencer that also models. So you're a dual threat. I think people love that as well. And the modeling world is such a fashion, it's such a powerful world that if you're in there as well, it gives you visibility in the sports side. So I think if you can go into both, it's incredible, and they do help each other out. But you have to understand that, like, my sport was always number one, and sometimes you get like caught up in that world, and then you're at the Met Gala, these people, you're just like, whoa, But like this is, who would have thought I would ever be able to go there, Do
you like this vibe of the like celebrities and Met Gala and stuff like that?
I mean, I got really lucky because I had the greatest time. I had the most amazing people at my table, and I was just there, soaking it all in, experiencing it. So I had a great time. But like, I feel like we're very different. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody else. I'm just gonna talk to you, like, no matter if you're, for instance, if you're Madonna who's next to me, I'm like, hi, how are you? And I'm just like, what's going on? But it's just like, that's refreshing, I think, for people just to be yourself. No one's yourself anymore. But I think when people say like you're a celebrity, I'm like, that word to me, but I just want to be a role model. But obviously, I think comes with, reaching a certain point in your life where you do become a celebrity. And like I feel like you also understand that as well. Because it's very few people, I think, who have, like, good amount of sponsors and can also transition into the fashion world. Is like very tough. And I know very few people that can do it. And you're one of them. Which is like also awesome. And I look at stuff that you do too. I'm like, oh, this is sick. And I get inspired by my friends, I think that's awesome. It's like I always watch what you do, and I'm like, oh, this is so sick. And then I think I get inspired by my people like that. Which I think, like, for like your sport is not niche.
It is so niche, dude.
I guess it is.
I mean, the most niche
but
sport.
I mean, like having a bike, right? There's so many different variables, but what you do is very niche, and it's just you. Like you're the face of that whole thing, which is sick. And it's like, how do we grow the sport, right? Or how do we do this and that? So. I'm also learning as well.
Of course, I think this is super interesting, and I think this is the key to make it in a niche sport.
Yes.
It's just dude, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Just go to like a wider audience type of stuff, and you don't have to be a model, or you don't have to go to the Met Gala, but just kind of, I don't know, just try to go in another.
Same. And before all that, I was like walking into events by myself, standing in line. Like I didn't care, but you have to be, I was like you said, you step back and you go, okay, what's different? Like, what's this guy doing? I want to do the opposite. And that's when I was like, oh, this is cool, I was like, I want to be so different, and like, I'm the only one in sport that has tattoos. I'm the one that it looks like me. And that's just me being myself. If I wanted to like change and become this, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. But I was always myself, and everybody who sponsors or supports me knows that this is me. But I think, you have to be different. Look outside the box. You have to.
Exactly. I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Tipping Point for people.
Oh, I never read it, but I heard it's a great book.
They said how like small things can make a huge difference, and it's like that's what you got. It's like the people that are like connectors, the people that they have that small thing. No one knows why, but like they can just go ahead, and like when they walk into a room, everybody's like, "Ooh, who is that?" And I feel like that's what's happening to you. If you are not watching the video, Miles is 6'5", something like that, and like, dude, like covered with tattoos, and literally like I was in a party with him in Paris, and just when he walks into a room, everyone's like, "Whoa, who is that?"
Same with you.
Not really, though.
Yes, bro. Don't sell yourself short, my man. The same. It's something. It's an energy, right? It's a presence that, like, I think we have, and I think it's just being us. Like, I don't think you can really learn presence or learn that. I think you just being different, and I love people who are different that make it. Like that's how I love seeing people like that. Like in these ads and this, who people from sports. Like we get it. That's basketball, football, and we understand that. I love those sports too. But there's so many other things as well that I think we're bringing new light to. So it's just cool.
But you have not always been like that. Let's rewind a little bit because we haven't really talked how you got into the sport.
Yeah.
You actually are fencing for America, but you are actually not originally from America. No. Can you tell me a little bit more about your childhood?
Yeah, so I was born in London, and I was like a pain in the butt kid. I was like always getting into trouble. I was bad. Sorry, Mom.
You have some examples?
Yeah, every day I would get called to the principal office every day. Just like being stupid, like I was like the class clown, right? Just like being dumb, like throwing stuff at the teacher, is just like getting into some stupid fights here and there. But that's just like London. That's what we did. What my friends did, right? But we were always playing football. And then my mom met my stepdad, who's my dad. And he was like, hey, I'm moving to New York. Would you want to come? And my mom was like, yep, kids, we're going. I was like, what? Where are we going? I was like, I do not want to move to New York. Like, I was 9. And then I moved to New York, went to public school, got kicked out for just being an idiot. This is like 3 days after getting there, public school, and then somehow my mom.
3 days after getting into public school, you get kicked out?
Yeah, people kept being like,
what did you do?
Say this, like, say the lift, say the loo, say the bathroom. I was like, shut up. I was the next person to say this to me, I'm going to punch them. And then it was me being.
Wait, because of your English accent?
My accent, yeah. They were like, say this. And I was like, oh my God, like, let me just shut up. Even teachers were like, Miles, say the loo. And I was like, oh my God. But like, I was never like Yeah, I was a pain in the butt. And then I got into a private school somehow. No idea how. And only reason I got into school was I had to pick up an extracurricular activity. It was tennis, badminton, and fencing. I was like, okay, whatever. Swords are fun. I was like, whoa, okay, this is sick. And I was like, this is really fun. And as I was doing that, I started to slowly get better in the school. I started to, literally, my mom would say every day, the principal would call her every day. Your son's in my office again. I was couldn't sit still. You couldn't tell me anything. I was also like a little bit mad that I was in America. You know, I was like, I had none of my friends, and you know, I was like a mixed race guy that was from London. That like, I didn't want America to look like me that was from London. You know, and like all the things like no one even knew what football was. Kept saying soccer. I was like, all these small things that, you know, like us the European or that know that's very different. Like that's all we watch growing up. I didn't watch basketball or baseball and none of that stuff. So that was a hard thing for me to get used to. And then I started fencing, like 12, 13, really taking it seriously. And then Ellen Grayson, lady who changed my life, I love her. She's in New York now. She was like, stick with it. This is going to be your thing. And I stuck with it. And then I won the Junior Olympics. And then the next year I got recruited by almost every college for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people who don't know like American culture with college,
yes,
you can make your way into college by different doors.
Yes.
And one of the doors, like America is dope for that because they respect their sports guy, their sportsman. Yeah. And basically if you are good at any sports that the college carries, you can make your way into the college and then like have your scholarship paid because everything is so expensive in America when it comes to school. Yeah. So you got your scholarship pretty much paid by being dope at fencing.
Yeah, I didn't pay $1 for school, and it was like $50,000 from fencing, right? Like so, when we went there for a couple of years, I loved it, but I was like, you know what, this is not for me. But I knew that, but I wanted to go there just to experience the college. I knew I was going to be a professional fencer. I knew it. Sitting in class, like, this is pointless to me. I know it, but all kids go to school. And then I got signed to Nike, and I was like, this is it. And then they signed me as one of their first fencers.
How did that happen? Like the Nike thing. So a lot of kids are always asking, like, how do you get sponsored?
So I had no agent, nobody. One of Nike executives had an off-site meeting. I've actually never told the story before to anybody. And one guy named Reggie, who's the head of Brand Jordan, named Keith Hulamard, who's the head of Nike Olympics, and Michelle Miller, who's head of product. They came to an offsite to check out niche sports, boxing, and I happened to just be at the fencing club at the right time. And I was fencing, and they're like, what's your name? I was like, Miles. They're like, you mind if we watch you? I was like, sure. I didn't know who they were. They were just watching, being me, you know. And I sat down with them for a little bit, and they were like, you're special. I was like, thank you. What's your, like, what do you do? They're like, oh, I work for Nike. I was like, oh, wow. They're like, do you have an agent? I was like, no, I don't have anything. And they're like, what's your email? They gave me gift certificates. I was done. I already decided I wasn't going to go to college. They gave me a gift certificate for like $200, something like that. And then like, a week later, I got an email from Nike. As a Nike, hi, this is Keith. Lovely meeting you. Nike would love to offer you sponsorship. And I just sat at the screen like, is this for real? I was like, Nike Inc. I was like, what? And I was like, this is just being me. But obviously, I was in the right place at the right time, which is about life, you know? It's all about life. And that was it. And I've been with Nike ever since.
But what you just say is really interesting, being at the right place at the right time. A lot of people think it's, like odds. But no, you put yourself in that room when the guy was here. You were the one that was special. I think the harder you work, the luckier you get, right? Which is what I think of life. And I think I knew something. I knew. I was like, listen, I'm gonna be a Nike athlete. I don't know what it was. I just knew. And yeah, now she's been my Nike rep, and we've been. I was a nobody in Nike. I was happy to just wear the stuff for like nothing. And then now I'm doing campaigns with Roger Federer, Serena, all these people. And now I see myself in Times Square and these billboards. I'm just like, you got to sit back and be like, wow, you believed in yourself. And I think that's the most important thing I tell a child now is always believe in yourself. And so like the Nike sponsorship came. And how long have you been with Nike?
7 years, 8 years.
Wow, that's dope. And then like Red Bull came into place.
So, yeah. And then Red Bull's even crazier because the next day my friend called me. He was like, hey, man, do you drink Red Bull? I was like, yeah, I drink Red Bull. I'm literally drinking it right now. And then hung up. And then I got a call from somebody named Justin Abrams. And he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Justin. I'm just wondering, do you drink Red Bull? Do you have any sponsors? I was like, just Nike. He was like, cool. I was like, love to meet you when you're in town. I was like, awesome, I'm back. Met him, hit it off. I was like, Red Bull is the coolest, like, group of people because everybody's just so different. And then it took 4 months to sign with them because you know how the process is. It's very tough. And signed to Red Bull, and I was just sitting. I signed right there, literally right there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that was a surreal moment for me. I was like, this is, you believe in yourself, but then when it really happens, you're like, whoa. And I've been with them since 2014, so like 6 years, 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's like some
Not as long as you, though.
That's some loyalty shit. That's awesome.
And I want to be with my sponsors the rest of my career. Every brand that I work with, I give everything to because they give everything to me as well. So I think that's an important relationship to have.
Yeah, you have a great list of sponsors. We can say Red Bull, Nike, Butcherer, Samsung.
Yeah.
So like you're the most successful fencer right now. And so like after those sponsorship came, it came for a reason because you were world champion in 2013.
Yeah, that's
in Budapest.
Best day of my life. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about this day in your life?
So, flashback to 2012 Olympics, got fourth, lost, was super sad. But I changed everything. I got to the Olympics, I was really serious. I wasn't me. I was like, and my coach said, what's wrong with you? I was like, this is serious. He's like, no, why would you change? But I did. And it's a lesson I learned. And the next year, I said, I'm going to be Miles again. Crazy Miles and don't worry about stuff. I was 17th in the world. If you're 16th in the world, you don't have to fence the first day. You get a bye. It's a bye, which you get a straight to the knockout stages. I'm the only one on my team that didn't have to do that. That had to fence. So I'm the number one guy now that has to fence the first day because I'm literally 17th. And I was like, went undefeated. I felt really good. And I never forgot, I had a beer before I fenced. This is another story I never told anybody. And I was like, I feel good. As a Heineken. Weird. I'm staying in the hotel lobby of, I don't know, some Best Western or something in Budapest. And I'm like, something feels different. I feel like just free. I don't know what it was. I just felt like, and having a beer, it takes like a little pressure off yourself. I was like, and it would look at me like, this guy's crazy. He's got a fence tomorrow. When I woke up in the morning with a smile on my face, I knew something was going to happen. And the first 2 matches, I won by 1 point. Really tight. And then I opened my eyes and I was ready in the final 8. And nobody was in there. It was just me. I was like, and then I made the top 4, which is happened once before with my teammate Garrick. Nobody's ever won in the history of fencing world championship. And I got to the 4 and I was just like, I've already won. Because I wasn't supposed to be here. And then I just destroyed everyone. Destroyed everybody in the semifinal and the final. And I was the first ever world champion. And that's when my life changed. And I was like, don't ever change who you are. I was like so serious. And I was like, no, go back to who you are, Miles. No matter if it's the Olympics, whatever, be you. And then that's what I learned. And then when I was me, I was free. And I that's the day my life changed.
So like...
That's the reason why I signed to Red Bull. Was literally when they told me when.
When you got world champion.
Yeah.
So 2012 Olympic, you were like not yourself, taking it serious. It didn't work. And then 2013, you just start to be yourself again, feel free, and then win. Yeah. And I think that's really like super important. What you just said is don't change the day of the contest, the day of the event. It's not gonna work.
No, I was like, I was all serious. I didn't talk to anybody. But that's, as you know, that's not me. That's not. I feel like not you either. I'm like happy. Obviously, it's a fine line between. Somebody told me where it's like not giving a fuck but caring. If you can get in that middle, that's Bruce Lee to me. Be like water, And I think, and he's on my leg.
He's on my arm. We got a matching tattoo, bro.
Like, but you could everything his whole mind was so bulletproof. His mind was bulletproof, And that's something like I love to watch about him. And that's something, that's what you learn from people.
So like after the 2013 World Championship, you went to the Olympic in 2016.
Yes.
And you guys won the first ever American medal there. You got third by team.
Yeah.
Which was incredible. And you told me you had this little thing with the Russian too, like
bittersweet. So I fenced probably the best I've ever fenced in my life. But obviously it was a team event. So like it's all teams. I don't fault my teammates ever. But some of them just didn't fence good that day. It happens in sports. But we were supposed to win the Olympics. We were number one in the world. We didn't lose anything. We won every competition. And we're thinking, I think, if we beat Russia, we'd fence France in the gold. And we've never lost to France, really, ever. France is a strong team, though. And we lost to Russia. And it was like getting stabbed. I was like, because France beat Italy, which is like, Italy is unbelievable. And we had to fence Italy now for bronze. And in my mind, I'm like, they beat us in Rio. They beat us in London. They smoked us. And I was like, man. So I took my teammates and said, guys, I'm pissed right now that we're not in the final, but we are not leaving without a gold, without a medal. I was like, pick your faces up and let's kill these people. And we won. We got a bronze. First time we've ever beaten them, really, I think. But that should have been the gold. If you see, like, not 1 and 2 in the world, but it's sports. We got bronze medal. It's actually right behind you. It's literally right behind you. Like right there. The brown thing?
Like right here?
Yeah, it's literally my medal.
Ooh, can I open it?
Yeah, of course.
Sick. And
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
so basically, what happened?
It's literally, here you go. It's still
Dude.
You can open it.
I'm going to show you guys.
Just grab it.
And what happened with Russia?
Well, the referees made some calls that we thought were ours that didn't go our way. And we got in our head a little bit. But you can watch the tape. It's online. And I think, everything happens for a reason, right? So maybe it was just saying we weren't ready to win, or because if I would have won that, we would have been an Olympic champion, world champion. I've won everything. But maybe that wasn't my time to win. So that's me being positive and looking a different way, but that hurts. So every time I watch it, man, I watch it before competition because it makes me so angry. And I just manifest that. And I'm like, I never want to fight that again.
What goes through your head when like Russia beats you and then you have to fence Italy?
I was like, we're going to get fourth again. That's it. You're like, I'm coming all this way again to get fourth? That's like getting dead lost. It's literally the worst place to get. Because you're fencing, and you gotta regroup yourself, and you gotta fence again. And then it's like 4 hours, because it's on TV, so you gotta like come back, regroup, go back to the village, get your mind right, shower, and then it's a huge mental game. And I took my team, and I was like, guys, we're not leaving without medal. And we went, and we beat them. But that's bittersweet. So I look at that medal.
That's a beautiful piece.
As like happy. Yeah, grab it, man. It's heavy.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah. Out of like actual, real, like good and bad memories on there, I got mine. They cleaned it for me because after we got bronze, I wore it out and I gave it to people to wear. I was so drunk when we were like celebrating. I was like, what? After these, I was like, and I woke up in the morning and it wasn't with me, and I was like, oh my god! But it was in my Nike rep had it in her safe. I was like, thank God. I was like, no. And then the next day, we did the Today Show and just like, but it's bittersweet, man. But I think I have another goal to look forward to. So
Tokyo, huh?
Tokyo, hopefully.
What's the goal here?
The goal is to get back to 2013 Masters free, and then everything else will take care of itself. Obviously, Olympic champion is something that I've just saying that. Oh, that's an Olympic champion over there. It just sounds so good. So I won't stop until I get there.
I feel like for every sportman in the world, the Olympic Games is like the graal, and then once you reach that point, he's like,
oh, you've done everything you work your life out for. So for me, it was world champion and Olympic champion. So I've done one, which is crazy to do already, but I'm another one. Oh man, like to be both would be life changing.
The fact that it got postponed 1 year changes things for you, like preparation wise and stuff like that, or in your head too, or
yeah, but I think it's a good thing. I think, and everybody starts off now fresh, kind of, because nobody's been fencing, so it's like everybody's kind of resets. But I don't know how they're going to do the competitions and the qualification and none of that. So that's kind of the unknown, but try and be positive, right? But no one really knows at all. Scary, but kind of, you got to look at it like, oh, this is kind of cool. Otherwise, it's going to eat you alive.
Right. You get, again, like if you change the day of the competition, it's not.
No, don't. Because I learned to not do that.
And I feel like we're in the same way with the celebration. We love the celebration part of our sport.
Yes.
And for me, like at some point, it took a little toll on my body, and I started to realize that maybe like the sport is a little bit more important than celebration.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your like celebration life too? You know.
Yeah. Well, I had to tone that down a little bit. But in terms of like, you reach a certain point, and you get access to a lot more things. So, you want to like. For me, it was going out or having drinks, or I used to wake up, get really drunk, wake up at 7 a.m. and train and not care. Like you have this all the time. My friends can tell me I would never miss a practice no matter what. I don't care how I smelled, but I would never miss a practice. You can ask all my friends, my teammates. I'm crazy like that. But then I'm like, dude, this is not healthy. This is I wake up like 4 hours of sleep. I'm just like, and I've won competitions on no sleep, which is really crazy that I can say that. And I've won competition, and I've done really bad when I've had 12 hours of sleep. So this is the most important thing. But you're right, though. You have to tone down that part. The older you get and the more mature you get, you have to kind of put that side a little bit out the way.
Oh, dude, like I think I won a world championship with no sleep. I used to party like crazy the night before the final. I don't know why now. I look at that and I'm like, I was fucking crazy.
Same. People, literally, it's crazy, but that's what kind of makes us special, right? It's like you have it there and no distraction. But obviously, it lowers the odds of you partying. Obviously, partying lowers the odds of you, winning, but you have that up here and you don't lose that.
I feel like though, and that's what you were saying about feeling free, and this is stuff you can get away when you are 22, 23 though. I cannot get away with like partying and riding the next day now. Yeah. But so when I was 22, 23, I felt like if I was not partying the night before the event, then that would put an extra pressure on myself.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I'm the same way, because you're in your room and you're just like, look at the ceiling and you're like, oh my God. So then I started to like, okay, get to the city I'm in, walk around a little bit, free my mind from competing. Because otherwise you've already lost sometimes if you just only think about it. You've already lost before. So what my coach will say to me is, I can tell in your eyes, you've already lost. Or at training is like, I can tell already. Because
the life on the road is like lonely, man. It's a lot of people don't know that about sportsmen, but most of the time when you go to an event, it's like plane, event, hotel, event, plane. Exactly. And then it's like, if you don't do anything on the side, that fucks your head like so much.
Yeah. What you just said is exactly what I've been doing my whole life. So then I said, no, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to go. Now I can, do what I want, afford, whatever I want. So I'm going to go a little bit early. I'm going to stay a day afterwards. And I'm going to experience these cities now. Before it was just like this, every 2 months, like this. And I wasn't really experiencing it or enjoying the ride. But you have to enjoy it.
Exactly. So kids, like if you want to do good at competition, don't party.
Yeah.
But
don't
do things maybe that makes you feel free. And if you're going to be in your room by yourself looking at the ceiling, I don't think that's gonna work. What's the life on the road being a fencer? Like you have the homies or like not really?
Yeah. So I'm obviously very different from most people, as you can tell. But my teammates are my boys. I got their backs. I spend more time with them than my family. I'm with them all the time. So we've taken the journey together, so it's great. But I obviously do so much stuff outside. So now, like if I'm in Paris, I'll also have work. We'll do fashion stuff as well and sponsorship stuff as well. So I have a full-on schedule when I'm there. Stuff now. I have my trainer, my video guy now. Stuff. So total ballgame. Before it was just me, but now I have like a little entourage.
What your entourage consists of? So trainer.
Yeah, my coach, physio, and now a video guy.
What's up with the video guy?
Like he's gonna start. He started kind of traveling with me and recording footage. So hopefully maybe if we do a documentary down the line or something, just to capture cool moments, that you forget I think it's just cool to have somebody there just capture you talking to your coach, you talking to like that. I think is really cool. And then, hopefully my nutritionist will start coming because it's just so cool to have when you have your full team, you feel like you're at home, and it's like, you have to worry about all these things I normally used to worry about. Like she doesn't tell me what to eat. She doesn't tell me when I need to go to bed. I got my trainer is there. I'm so close with him. We just talk about everything and just like frees your mind a lot than just thinking about fencing. But normally it was just me sitting in the middle seat and in the back of the plane.
Because fencing is a gnarly sport. Like there's a dude that died like in a injury. I think that it goes like
through his eye. I fenced the guy's son. So the guy who killed him is named Bear. He killed Smirnov, or Smirnov killed and I fenced his son. I was like, this guy's dad killed somebody, obviously by accident, but it went through his eyeball, and then
that was crazy.
Yeah. So and people get like injured, man. I got broken my fingers. My teammate, ACL, MCL, hamstring, Achilles. Like, it's not like the Parent Trap, man. It's intense.
I know, and like I was hanging out with you the day after that competition in Paris, and you told me your arm was so sore from like
God,
like fencing the whole day.
Like this weird muscle here from
this one.
Fencing. Oh yeah, you have it too.
Same thing with
biking,
BMX.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, what is that? But it's like we're always like, I'm sure your form is always and grip is our strongest thing, and it's like you get like needles and massages, and because this is my pride and this is my moneymaker, my arm. So that element is something that I'm learning about too, is the body. Rehab and taking care of yourself. Theragun, Normatec, stretching, rolling. I see you doing some yoga.
Oh yeah.
Which is me too. And I think that's amazing element too. Meditation a little bit. I think those are something now, the older we get, the smarter we get.
And you are like one of the tallest fencer, I think, in the circuit right now.
Yeah, there's one guy taller than me, but
does it help, or does it, like, as you told me, like maybe that helps with some things, but also you are a bigger target.
So longer reach, but bigger target. So it's a trade-off. I think it definitely helps for sure. And in life, it's good to be tall, right?
And you have like some of your special signature move that got like millions of views on social media. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It's like some freestyle fencing there.
Yeah, so it's called the Chamley-Watson. They named it after me, which is pretty cool. Basically, I hit the person behind my head without turning my back. If you turn your back, you get a yellow card. And it happened in World Championships randomly. I was just like, and then the referee was like, hold on a second. And when we went back to the video, he was like, oh my God, what happened? Never seen it before. And then now I'm kind of, that's my move. And you get kids that are like sending you, little videos of you. It's so cool. And then, I think we should be more free. And fencing's so conventional. And so I was like, this is such a beautiful sport. Let's be more free. Let's be more wild. Let's, just like, don't try and be so, stop trying to be so conventional, and then your sport is exactly that. It's being, what you do is insane. I would fall on my face. we should switch sports one day.
We're gonna do that though. And so, like, can you invent more fencing tricks? You think?
Yeah, I have one already that Rebel posted that we got like 2 million views, which is fencing's never seen this before. So like that makes me happy that I'm opening a new audience up. But yeah, we're just getting started, man. Hell yeah, I'm gonna learn more and get more free and keep growing the sport.
Yeah, that's gonna make the sport bigger for sure.
Yeah.
Let's come back a little bit to the present day. So we are right now in New York City, in Chelsea, in your place.
Yeah.
And some things that, to my eye, are really positive.
Yeah.
Are happening right now.
Yes.
With the killing of George Floyd a few weeks ago, and a lot of people have been raising their voice all over the world. With the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
And I've seen that you have been really active with that. Can you tell me your point of view about this whole situation?
Yeah, so it's obviously so sad, rest in peace, George Floyd. Thank God we have cameras now. Otherwise you would never see this. So what he stands for is something so much bigger. Obviously, I think we, unfortunately, police brutality has been going on forever, in this country, and I think now more than ever, think with technology, we can record it so at least people can see what's going on, right? And it hit home when I was like, this guy is just pleading for his life. It could be me, it could be my friends. And I was like, I can't just sit back. And, after Trayvon Martin got shot, I was like, I can't sit back. These are my people, and I decided to be myself and just talk from my point of view, right? Because I'm half white, half black. I'm British, so I want to talk from my point of view. And I think that was therapeutic to me to kind of speak. And then when I went to the protest and saw, it brought me tears because it was beautiful to see everyone, people that are white, people that are black, people that are Hispanics, together for something so, Black Lives Matter. We're fighting for just equality. And I've never seen this in my life. And I think hopefully the silver or something we can take out of this is people are coming together and are really standing for something bigger than just whites, blacks, Spanish. It's we're all human. Like we all bleed the same, and like people are taught hatred, and I feel like I posted this really amazing little video of these two little kids running to and hugging. Right, that's an example that racism doesn't exist. It's taught. Right, these little kids are so pure. They don't know anything. They're just like, they don't care about the color of your skin. And I was like, these kids are so pure. So it's like, why are we, these people who are just teaching their kids hate, and how can you be so hateful just because someone looks so different? So like that, I was like, we got to speak up. And I'm with my people, and I think it's beautiful to see people like, I'm behind you as well, and I think we're coming together as just a strong people, and I hope it brings real change and justice for Breonna Taylor and all these people. It makes me so sad that just people just getting killed for no reason, just literally because of the color of somebody's skin. And now we cannot let this slide. These people should be, it's murder, and these people should be prosecuted, and these people should be in jail. It's like switch the roles. Well, guns are a scary thing, but I understand people who shoot guns. If you want to go on the farm and shoot targets, I've done that before. It's beautiful, like it's therapeutic for some people. But guns in the streets and guns in the police's hands, it's like I don't see why police need guns.
True.
Why don't they just need a taser or like what? When it's like a taser can do or something. I just feel like. It's always their first instinct. I just, even me, someone who's, somewhat famous, whatever, driving nice cars, I'm always so cautious about the small things about, okay, if I get pulled over, hands in the steering wheel, so I don't want to have to live like that.
No, yeah, for sure. As a black person, have you ever been in a situation in your sport that you felt uncomfortable with? Yeah,
for sure.
You have some examples?
Just like young and calls that are clearly mine. I'll never forget a time when I was trying to make the under 17 World Championship team and got like 5 red cards, and the referee couldn't tell me why. Covering target, and I'm like, and I know, but people, people around me knew, but you're like 13, you're like 14, 15, but I know 100% that this guy didn't want me on the team.
That's crazy.
But now I'm someone who's got a platform, and I can say what I want now. And
you have been spreading a lot of positivity. That's what I want to do. That's what I've been noticing on your Instagram, and you can go check out Miles' Instagram. It's at Fencer, and all you've been spreading was positivity, dude, and it was awesome. Can you
Yeah, and I tried. It's like you have to post some things that are hard to look at, but people know me. They look for positive and love, and I was like, that's Miles. That's what God put in the pen. So I want to educate people, but I also want to never lose that positivity and love. And during these times, we need it more than ever. So I've tried to do a job of both. Of always fight my people. Going to protests and all that stuff. And then I got young kids who look up to me, and I'm just like, I want to inspire them. I want to be positive. So I love, just like me going on Instagram, like, hey guys, when I say I love you, somebody might want to hear that. Just like small things like that, which I think is so impactful. and just trying to spread my love and positivity and do my part, vote everything I can, and hopefully get a new president.
Hell yeah, vote people. And I mean, that's what I was saying when I got to that subject, is that even though it's terrible what's been happening, I think a lot of positive things are going to come out of that.
Yes.
And a lot of people are starting to realize that, oh, maybe I was maybe like a bit off with this guy one day. Or, there was a lot of BMX rider, for example. We have one BMX rider who posted like a photo of him, and he said that, oh, wow, like I didn't realize like I was saying some crazy stuff because towards like black people, because I'm from like Florida, and this is how like I got educated.
Yeah.
But I am not racist, and I apologize for what I said.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that it puts white people in that place where they have to reflect on themselves and be like, oh, maybe I've been kind of I treated someone differently by my look, and then I think it's going to be a really positive outcome. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. I think I'm seeing some beautiful, laws are being changed, some amazing positive stuff, and I think, it's so sad that obviously you have to sacrifice someone's life for that, but I think I'm seeing some beautiful, positive things come out of this, and I hope real change does come. And I know, like, even from me, people who reach out to me, like, Miles, this one time 4 years ago, man, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you don't have to apologize for your race. Like, I know who you are, but just educate, and I think something important is people who say, I understand that I will never understand, right? Is like, it's okay that you won't understand, but understand that. But try and just educate yourself. And, if you see something that happen, stop it. If you see something, do your best to be, just a good human being. It comes down to just being a good human. It's just like, it's like people that are so hateful, it's like, isn't that tiring? Right?
Dude, it's crazy.
Isn't it tiring to be so hateful? Just, I don't get it. I'm just like, I can't be mad at somebody for more than 5 minutes. It's just like, I'm tired of that. It's like, and you see people's eyes and it's like, so much hate in your eyes, I'm just like, love will always win.
Dude,
so.
And I think we are both two positive people. And one of the biggest reason I'm like so positive when people are like, oh, Matthias cannot be so positive all the time, is just fake. I'm not. It's just like being negative just exhausts me. Yeah. Like some days I wake up, I'm obviously not in a good mood.
Same.
And maybe I can be like a dick to like the waiter or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I'm like, what am I doing? And then I regret so much. Yeah. And, like, so that's why I really try to spread positivity. Yeah. And as you said, that must be so tiring to be like hateful all the time.
And it's like, I know people who are hateful. I'm just like, all right, that's on you, man. But like, you're not gonna affect me at all, And also going back to like, I just saw when you posted the BMX thing, it was Pride, and somebody was like, I saw it's random. Someone was like, oh, I love that you're not afraid to post this thing, and then you were like, why would I be afraid, right? But like, that's how some people think. We're like, they're scared. If I'm like, Pride Month, I'm like, I support everyone. I'm like, why would I be scared to post anything? But that's how a lot of people think, like that's what I love about you as well. We're just like, don't care, but you know what's right, and I think that's what similar is. Like, I don't like something so small as like just people are just so scared to just like try something new or be different. It's like, dude, just be quiet and just enjoy and take everything in. You don't have to judge everything you see. Yeah.
And I mean, having a platform on social media, it can be good for like self promotion, but we must use this platform to also make people feel more comfortable.
We have
like
to.
When I posted this Pride photo, Pride Month photo, a kid DM'd me and he said, "Oh, dude, I've never said that to anyone, but actually I'm gay." And then like that, I just want to tell you because, I was like, "Whoa, dude, thanks so much for telling me." It's like, because I feel like if I'm coming out, then a lot of people are gonna be mean. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, no, you shouldn't like be, and just help people. And I feel like,
and if you change one person's day, that's incredible. Like for someone to write that to you is like, I know people who've almost lost their life trying to come out as who they are. I'm just like, man, that's so sad. I'm like, be you, and I'm always like. Matthias and I, We got you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
we
be
do.
you, and I always support you, and that's all we can do, right? Is be us and educate and just always be positive when you can. And I know, like you, I wake up sometimes, I'm just like, oh, one of those days we gotta be like, Miles, you're blessed, you're healthy, you know, just like relax for a second.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm happy that you do the same thing, man, because I've seen it as well. And people, I get messages as well, and it's like you sit back and I have someone, I'm just like, oh my God, like just something small that you just posted like changed someone's life, and you're just like, wow, I'm gonna keep doing this, like, you know. So
of course,
it's cool, man.
and this is why this like fucked up situation is making some definite change and some positive change, and I'm so glad, you know, that even, you know, like those trans Black Lives Matter protest in New York, and it was just so beautiful to see everybody together and just
and it's like, dude, I was like, listen, put a blindfold on yourself. We're all the same person, bleed the same, with the same insides. This is not the same, but we can change this.
Of course, like
that was good. Thought of that, yeah,
dude. No, definitely, and it's like, fuck, man, the people who just are little trolls saying that all lives matter, whatever. Like, come on, just educate yourself. You know, just it's not hard to understand. It's just like people love to be hateful for some reason. I don't know.
They love it, and then they're home, and I'm just like, you're clearly miserable. Like, you're probably drinking Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? Not nothing against Mountain Dew, but like Mountain Dew and like sitting behind a computer with like potato chips all over your face. I'm like, you know, you're just a computer person, man. Like, say it to my face, and then they'll be like, oh. You know, but like it's, you know, it's like, you want to talk about me? That's okay. Like literally, people say shit to me. I'm like, I love you. What are you gonna say back to that?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Last but not least, it's a question I ask all the guests. What would you say to young Miles if he was in the room right now? Like,
good question. What would I say to young Miles? I would say, take more risks. Never doubt yourself, and enjoy the ride.
Awesome. And what would you say to a kid that wants to make it into fencing? Like, if a kid listens to that, a 10-year-old kid, what would you say to him in order for him to be successful?
I would say, if you need anybody to talk to, Miles is here. And I would say, if you love something, don't ever lose the love for it, and believe in yourself. Self-belief. I'm telling you, that I can't say that enough. A little kid growing up, you'll get bullied. I got bullied, making fun of you for fencing, all that stuff. But people who bully you are jealous of you. And that's the biggest form of flattering, someone who's bullying you, because they're jealous of you. Why else would they bully you? Because they want what you have. So understand that. And don't let anybody turn that frown upside down.
Boom. Words of wisdom. Miles, dude, anything you want to add?
Well, what would you tell young Matthias?
Dude, I would say a lot of things to young Matthias. Probably, like, that's a really good question. You kind of like
I know,
put me on the map. But what would I say to young Matthias? I would say maybe, because, you know, like, one day I was so obsessed with my BMX and in high school, and that girl was really liking me, and she organized the whole picnic for me on a Wednesday, like for lunch. And it was a beautiful Wednesday, and I got out of class and I saw her in the middle of that field. But it was really a beautiful day, and I really wanted to ride my bike, and I kind of never went and meet her until the next day.
Wow.
So I'd say, dude, take that day off and go have that picnic with that girl.
I know exactly though. Take that risk. I know, and you're like, damn, I wish I did that. I know exactly what we're talking about there. But she's probably like, oh man, I wish she did too.
Just poor little girl. If she's listening to that, which I doubt, but I'm so sorry. Anyways, bro, thanks so much.
So good to see you, by the way. You're the best, man. Thank you for having me, man. And
fuck you.
I'm excited, bro. Thank you.
You're tall as fuck.
You're tall too, bro.
It was.
I got taller, by the way. Someone said I got taller. They think. What are you, 6'3"?
6'1".
Dude, you're taller than 6'1".
I am.
You're like 6'2", bro. You're not. You're pretty tall.
I don't know.
Yeah, bro, we're tall. We're out. Thank you, brother.
All right, guys, that was that's a wrap for that episode of Decoding Athlete. We decoded Miles' brain. So many things went on. Thank you so much, Miles, and
Thank you, my man.
as you're around the world,
Yes, sir. See you soon.
spreading positivity. Always.
Positivity, bro. Now I'm happy now.
Love you, boys and girls.
Love you, boys and girls.